Ukraine's armed forces strike another Russian Pantsir S-1 system on Zmiinyi Island. Ukrainian defenders struck another enemy Pantsir S-1 air defense missile system in the Black Sea. The operation on the island continues. The destruction of another Russian Pantsir S-1 air defense missile system was confirmed. The Operational Command South posted on Facebook. In general, Ukrainian missile and artillery units executed about 150 fire missions, aviation 7 missions. As a result, the Russian army lost more than 4 dozen servicemen, 2 MSTA-B howitzers, MSTA-S self-propelled howitzer, 3 armored and motor vehicles, as well as a field fuel depot. On February 24, Russia began a new stage of the 8-year war against Ukraine, a full-scale offensive. The enemy massively shells and bombs Ukrainian cities and villages. The Ukrainian armed forces, the territorial defense forces, and the entire Ukrainian people are effectively resisting the Russian troops and inflicting heavy losses on them. Meanwhile, France's president denounced Russia's fiery airstrike on a crowded shopping mall in Ukraine as a new war crime Tuesday and vowed the West's support for Kiev would not waver, saying Moscow cannot and should not win the war. The strike, which killed at least 18 people in the central city of Kremenchuk, came as leaders from the group of 7 nations met in Europe. It was part of an unusually intense barrage of Russian fire across Ukraine, including in the capital, Kiev, that renewed international attention as the war drags on. Speaking at the end of the G7 summit in Germany, French President Emmanuel Macron appeared to address that concern, vowing that the 7 leading industrialized democracies would support Ukraine and maintain sanctions against Russia as long as necessary and with the necessary intensity. In a virtual address to the UN Security Council, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia has become a terrorist state and called for it to be expelled from the United Nations. He also urged the UN to establish an international tribunal to investigate Russia's action in Ukraine. Zelensky ended his address by asking all in the chamber to stand in silent tribute to the tens of thousands of Ukrainian children and adults killed in the war. All council members rose, including Russia's Deputy UN Ambassador Dmitry Polensky. How to counter Russia and back Ukraine will also be the focus of a summit this week of the NATO alliance, whose support has been critical to Kiev's ability to fend off Moscow's larger and better equipped forces. Ukrainian leaders, however, say they need more and better weapons if they are to hold off and even drive back Russia, which is pressing an all-out assault in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. As Macron spoke, rescuers combed through the charred rubble of the shopping mall, which officials said was struck when more than 1,000 afternoon shoppers and workers were inside. Katerina Romashina, a local resident, told the Associated Press that she had just arrived at the mall when an explosion knocked her down. When another blast came about 10 minutes later, she realized she needed to get away. I ran away from the epicenter with all of my strength, she said, fighting back tears. She added, "You have to be a real monster to strike a shopping mall." Many of those inside quickly fled the building when an air raid siren sounded and took shelter across the street. Ukrainian Interior Minister Denis Monastyrski said several of the bodies of those who didn't make it out in time are burned beyond recognition.
Hang it! Fire! Not the rocket sights! You got that? Come on, up! Hang it on one. Hey, turn.